Okay, Kanji's upset at the world right now. I just went this one. There we go. Move over this way. Can you believe there's dogs playing outside, Kanji? I can't believe it either. I have my recipe up. Just gonna wait a few minutes before jumping into the recipe. So minor things. I went food shopping. A lot of things were missing at the grocery store. So we're gonna be playing fix the recipes as we go. So, hello, Jake. Hello. I see Zachary and Jeff. Hey, Word. As I like drip everywhere. So right now I'm just heating up water for myself and Jeff. Felt like I needed some borage. I might be talking a bit more. This morning it was 80 degrees and now it's like 60 something. So there was a nice cold front in. So there's at least that, which is nice. I'm so excited for summer to be done, but I don't know if my body's gonna be happy about it. I did get my shoe slot. Wow, my flu shot. Words are hard, and there's a reason for that. The words being hard. Yesterday night, Jeff and I were just chilling, playing some Final Fantasy 14 because I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a cooking stream on Friday instead of Thursday. That's fine. At around 9:45 at night, our smoke alarms decide to go off. Hey, Nina. Yeah, so our smoke alarms decide to go off at 9:45, and we're like, oh no, what's going on? Kanji's panicked. So we walk out. We look. It looks like there's no smoke or anything, and it keeps going off. So we're like, okay, let's get out of the house. Take Kanji on a leash, go outside. I'm like, Jeff, I guess go check the attic, see if something's happening. He goes upstairs, goes up into the attic, walks around, nothing. The alarms are still going off, and we're like, okay, this is kind of weird. Call my dad, and he's like, oh, let's see. Did you touch the walls at all in the house? I'm like, well, let's see if the alarms will stop, and we could go touch the walls. And hello, Opie. We're like, okay, it stopped. We walk back in, and we start like feeling the walls. Nothing's hot. Nothing's like screwed up anywhere. And we're like, okay. The next thing he said, he's like, have you ever vacuumed your like smoke detectors? Because sometimes dust gets into them. And I was like, well, Jeff, we could probably do that. He said, make sure you go back outside with Kanji because they'll go off again. I let my dad go, and then we're looking around the house, nothing. They go off again. This is at 10 o'clock at this point. And we're like, okay, we have the ladder in. Jeff has like ear protection on. And I'm like, okay, let's go outside, Kanji. Jeff managed to vacuum everything off and clear it out. They haven't gone off again since that. But we're like, it was like 10:15 once it was all done, and we're like, okay, let's sit and wait. And then if it goes off between now and 11, we'll like call someone and be like, okay, let's go check it out. We'll just stay somewhere else. Nothing. But of course, at this point, I'm panicked, having to go to sleep. So I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and it's 12:30. And I'm like, it has to be like 5 in the morning at this point. I'm like, oh, it's going to be one of these sleeping nights. So I did take a nap this afternoon. I worked like a half day, and then I was like, one, I need ramen, so I had ramen for lunch. And then I took a nap. And now I'm like, okay, time to like wake up again, get my head working. So tip of the day, if you have smoke alarms, go around your house and vacuum them. Or your apartment or whatever. Do that. Because they'll go off sometime. Alright. So everyone else, how are you all doing? Hopefully you had a less eventful day than I did. Hi, Kanji. You gonna keep barking all night? We get to open the windows and you're gonna bark? But on top of that, like this recipe today, I'm gonna mostly be following it. There were two things? Yes, two things I could not find, and I might edit the recipe a little bit. I could not find king oyster mushrooms. I never can on this side of town. And so I instead of using king oyster mushrooms, which are the best mushrooms, I'm I'm using a combination of shiitake and button mushrooms just because mushrooms are mushrooms. And the peppers. I couldn't get the same peppers that I got last time, so I'm going to probably change the recipe to just say your favorite kind of red peppers. But we'll do that. So, yeah. Oh, Pi, you got an interview. I hope it went well. Heck yeah. Yay, hopefully that went well. And then, yeah, I saw earlier that Nina had a dentist appointment today. So, I know how those go. Those are never fun. And are you going to be rude? Ah, Windows. You tell it to do things, and then it's not going to. Thanks. No, I'll just try. Just kind of let that. There we go. Back. Oh, that's good. Yay! You can stream. That's always, yeah. You never want. I have fortunately been extremely lucky with my teeth. And I think maybe that's to do because I didn't really eat a lot of hard sugar candy growing up. I still have my wisdom teeth. At this point, they're like, well, they're not growing in anymore. So you should be fine. We could take them out, but we don't need to. So I'm like, if we don't need to, let's not take them out. Let's keep them in there. And then I haven't had any cavities. So my experience with dentist work has been extremely lucky. Okay. I think I'm that was all my stories for today. So today I am going to give you tips and tricks of how to make the wonderful salmon curry from We Met in May. If you would like to pick up a copy of the game for yourself, in May. Does it work? Yes. My bot's behaving itself today. That'll lead you to the link that'll show you where you can pick up your own copy. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to be doing it, hell yeah. So that's where you can pick that up. I had the joy of being able to work with both Nina and Jake to figure out a recipe that would work for them. And then I got to develop the recipe from there after we decided, okay, this is what you got. You guys want salmon. Let's go along this lines with the salmon curry. So it's like, yes. For the recipe, I have 2 commands. So that'll leave you notices. Oop. Sunsbrina, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, that's why you guys mentioned that you guys love salmon. And I was like, okay, let's see what options we have and what kind of fun we went. I do like that, it kind of went with, the colors that your game had. It ended up having. So, the bright red curry did that. Hopefully I'll get red because my options of peppers were kind of limited. So, if you can make your chili paste from scratch. I like to because then I get to control how spicy it is, what flavors are in there. If you don't want to, you could pick up a Thai chili paste already pre-made. I've seen it a lot of times in the international section at a normal grocery store. You could also probably get away with sambal ulk, which is just me. It's a Thai thing. Let me grab it. Put on this thing, which is a ground fresh chili paste. That could probably replace the portion that you're going to need for the recipe. If that's one shortcut you could do. If you're not feeling like doing everything, that works. Let me just kind of grab everything that I think I need. That. What did I write on the recipe? Red bell pepper, lemongrass, those specific red chili peppers, which I have to put in out. Oh, did I grab ginger? If I don't have ginger, I have... Of course not. Ginger paste, ginger paste. My fridge is working against me right now. There it is. I thought I had... So in Texas, yeah, a lot of the vegetables are huge, which is crazy. So I always feel bad when I'm like, use this kind of vegetable. And it's like, uh-oh, it's like ginormous. All right, that should be, I think that's everything. If not, walk back around. Ta-da! I'll grab it as I go. Okay, let me see what I missed. I did not eat a lot of salmon growing up because when my mom would cook it, she'd put it in the oven and it would be overcooked, and then just the house would reek of fish. So I never ever wanted to like have it. And I think it was the time that I was dating Jeff and I was starting to do more cooking at home, that he was like, oh, I really like salmon. So I started figuring out recipes that would work, to the point that I eventually started enjoying salmon. I have a few on the website that are like, this is one I would highly recommend for if you don't know if you like salmon and you want to start getting into salmon cooking. This is a good one to start with. And like I've mentioned, you can ease it back some by pre-buying a chili paste and all that. I do have other ones, so if you want to know other salmon recipes that I'd recommend for a beginner with salmon, I could give those to you pretty easily. Oh, that's a cute. I like that pepper. Oh, you did. You got that from Tabitha. Tabitha. Let's see. I'm like, where's my cutting board? I swear, I am thinking at 100%. Like, what do I have? All right. So see, I've not boiled salmon. See, that spooks me a little bit. Are we talking? Well, I guess if you're, I'm assuming poaching it, so not for too long. Yeah. Okay. Did I turn that on? Yes. Ooh, a lemon garlic cream sauce. Heck yeah. Oh, word. Thank you for gifting a sub to Crow. Now everyone with the subs can now spam them kanjis in excitement. You! Oh, wait. Shoot. Kanji's here. Kanji, there's a sub. You get a treat. It's been a while since I've been in the kitchen cooking. A whole week. Kanji, this is from Word. There you go. Now I got dog mouth. Clean my hands. Yeah, so I spoke with Harry, and he's gonna give me I need extra USB cables because one of my ports broke, and right now the port that one's in does some funky stuff to the video, but I don't have another port to put kanji in without risking the computer goofing, because it goofed one time and I've been spooked to put anything in those front ports. So we're gonna avoid that. Whew, for now. Let me see. Basically everything for the chili paste is going in here. Correct? Correct, self. So yeah, Texas size vegetables are giant. I want half of this. I'll go with this half. So sometimes I guess when I say a half of a thing, it could just be a regular sized one elsewhere, which is wild. Let me go ahead and clean this out and wash this one. I will say I am surprised. Taking the nap actually did help. I've had pretty bad luck with naps sometimes, but it was like I am not functioning today. And that would have been bad otherwise. Kanji too was heavy on the naps. I think he was on edge all night. Yes, on edge Kanji. 1 lemongrass. Roughly chopped, it's gonna get ground down. One thing to note with lemongrass, you want to make sure to grind it pretty well because it can get, what's the word I'm looking for? Thready? Is that? No. It's definitely something you want to make sure gets ground enough. Fibrous. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Right words. You know what? Actually, turn it up higher would. Yeah, ginger does that too, which I thought I had ginger, but all I have is ginger paste, so this is already... It's like, wait a second, there's supposed to be garlic. I did not grab garlic. So I'd say one of the longer steps for this recipe is for sure the making the chili paste, but you could do this a day in advance. I've held this in the fridge for at least a week, and it's been fine. It probably, I would say, could hold, since you're doing it fresh, probably up to 2 weeks. I think in the end, did I end up using all of it? Yeah, I think I put everything in. I originally was like, oh, you don't need the whole thing, but you could probably decide how much of the curry, the chili paste that you want to use. Oh yeah. The biggest thing I tell people on these streams is my recipes are suggestions. This is what I like. This is what I enjoy. Once you get more comfortable in the kitchen, you're going to be able to very easily go ahead and adjust things. Oh, I don't like the flavor of, let's say someone doesn't like a shallot, which would be sad. Just take it out, replace it with a red onion or an onion. If you don't like either, just completely sub it out and do it without it. What about food gives you some anxiety? Because it can be intimidating. I will agree to that. And I do tell people, start first following it to the T, and then once you start figuring out flavors you really enjoy, you can start doing things. Half the time I don't follow my own recipes. That's how bad I am. Today is proof, kind of, sort of, but that was limitations of what I could find. Hi, Onitz-chan. How are you? This is what happens when Vicky is like... There we go. That's correct. Let me get the garlic before I forget it. Because, yeah, the only way you're going to get comfortable in the kitchen is actually being in the kitchen and doing stuff. So, whoop. What any of that says. I want to make sure it doesn't have any store information. Garlic? Hello? Where are half of my things? What did I do with my garlic? Okay, hold on. Okay, sometimes I'm very lazy. And I just have already pre-peeled. Started doing that, I'm like, I'll just put a bunch in. I know, I think it says 5, but I'm feeling garlicky today. Uh-oh. Oh no, the bot is mean. Hold on, I could fix that real quick. Yeah, Crow fixed the link, but let me fix the bot real quick. Mod tools. Edit this real quick. Okay, so Nina should be fine. Let me also let Jake too. Alright, that should work now. Yeah, it's not my bot. It's the Streamlabs chatbot one. No, it's okay. It's okay. My bot likes to be real rude and in charge, so. Alright, so instead of the red peppers, I don't know what this is. I forget what it was called. It was just a red pepper that was, it kind of looks like a jalapeno, but it's red. Probably going to remove the seeds because now I don't trust it. And then I also bought some green Thai chilies that they had. So I imagine they're going to be a little on the milder side than a red one. It's a mystery pepper. We'll see what happens. Those I'll leave the seeds in because they're green. So I don't think... But it is Thai, and their Thai spices tend to be pretty bad. So something I like to do with peppers, any spicy pepper, even like a jalapeno, I put gloves on just to be safe. Because last thing you want to do with anything spicy is touch your eyes. I've made that mistake. It is not fun. So when you're working with peppers, do not touch eyes. Do not, yeah. So I use this because if you work with it, even after you wash your hands, it'll stick on you for a bit. So you want to be very, very careful. These are so tiny. Basically, yeah. Just don't touch anything. Okay, Jedi. All right, let's see. Peppers. Yeah, we'll do. I'm still really curious. You know what? I'll mix it all and then I'll see. I'll see how spicy it ends up being. Since the base of the curry does have like coconut milk in it, it will cool the sauce down, so that is something to keep in mind as you're making this. Let me rinse all of this. Just take the cutting board over here. All right. They smell like green bell peppers, maybe jalapeno. What? They have a kick to it, but not. I didn't have a seed, so. Oh, yeah. And with peppers, if you want to reduce the heat of them, don't include the seeds. That is typically the part that tends to be a lot spicier. So if you're looking to add the flavor of said pepper, not including the seeds will reduce that heat level, but not completely. I'm noticing some of these seeds are... That has like a back end kind of spice on it. So how... Oh, thank you for the host, Nina. Boop. Boop. Heck yeah. I think... Watch this end up being really spicy. Well, for me. I'm sure Jeff will be fine. I don't remember what the store called these, but I looked it up and nothing came up on Google. I'm like, is this like some like generic Texas name? It looks like a jalapeno. Jeff, yeah, of course. Yeah, there's no complaint there. Like I said, I am gonna remove the seeds because I'm a little scared, just a little bit. If some seeds get in, that's fine, but yeah, there's like one or two. Don't you worry, Kanj. No seeds for you. Yes! So I want to make sure Kanji doesn't... Loud noises. That is separate from the recipe, just making some boricha with it, which is a barley tea, a Korean barley tea. Sup, Taz? How are you? I'm a legend now. Oh, man. I'm like, trying to remember what I put in here. Okay. So now I'm missing... What am I missing? So I don't have garlic. We're going to put garlic paste in. Still smells so good. Oh my gosh, I had it for the first time. We went to a Korean place here, and I was like, the heck is barley tea? Sure, I'll order some, and it was iced, and I was like, this is super good. Why have I never had this before? So now... It's nice because it has no caffeine in it, so it's a good option for, oh, I want something warm. And something that tastes not like water. Well, water has no taste, really, typically. What am I missing? The peppercorns. So I'm using 2 kinds of peppercorns in this, which is just a number amount. I'm using both regular black peppercorns and then the Szechuan peppercorns. Szechuan peppercorns tend to have a much more unique tingly feeling that regular peppercorns won't give you. I would recommend having some. You typically buy them whole. I've seen them, I think at my local grocery store, I've seen them just there in the spice aisle. You could also order them on Amazon pretty easily. But these peppercorns are what really gives that unique sensation in a lot of Szechuan cooking, where it's not really, it's spicy, but it kind of, it's almost like a numbing feeling. Now, we're not putting too many in, so it's not going to like really numb you completely, but it's still there, kind of in the background, sitting. Yeah, I did not use it much until this last year, and they're nice. I think it's an interesting sensation. Yeah, it's instead of taking, it keeps giving me more. Please, you can see me with my Costco size of whole peppercorn and like crushed red pepper. I go through it very easily. Very easily. Red, 1 tablespoon. Just 1 tablespoon. 3 teaspoons. I'm putting all this stuff in. I'm like, man, this is spicier than I would imagine. For Vicky standards. Vicky standards are low. Ooh, shoot. I need to get... It says ground coriander, but I think right here... No. That's fennel. Coriander, where are you? I need to grab sugar and coriander. Are you not in the camera, silly butt? Sugar. Coriander, where are you? Oh, that's really bad today. I feel like that's worse than it normally is. Huh. And some sugar. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost at the point where we're going to have our chili paste. And then I think from there it gets really pretty high paste. And wraps up pretty quick, surprisingly. So hopefully this doesn't get too loud. It usually behaves itself. So it is going to be a little grainy. I didn't put in the juice of 2 limes. I'm going to add that after having mixed this a bit. Oh no. I'm sorry, Kanji, come back. Ooh, that went right in my nose. I always make that mistake with things where it's just like, oh, you want to smell it. And then it's just like, no, you didn't want to. Please. Heck yeah. Alright. Where? Oh, man. Gotta wash this real quick. Kanji, come back. Come back. Come back, Kanj. Get on your bed. He's actually kind of listening, which is rare. Go on your bed. Can you get on your bed? No? No, he's like very much so just out of the camera range. Thanks, Lime. I think the limes are telling me I needed a shower a second time today. Need this again because we're definitely going to be adding more lime afterwards. I'm going to let that kind of air out for a moment. So it's still pretty, yeah, I could see the fibrousness of the lemongrass. So we're going to have to let that go a little bit longer. Almost. I feel like why is the black pepper being so rude right now? I'm gonna pulse it a few times. Things fall up, go up, and then fall down a little bit. So again, if you're wanting to skip this step, just buy a pre-bought one. No one's gonna judge you if you do that. That's completely fine. Oh my god, the more things I could add lime to, the better. It's so nice. It brings a nice freshness to everything. Alright. Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. I think it's almost there. Easy. We got the nice, like, red color at least. This outside? I use the zest for stuff, but not like... You know what you can use? I have candied it before. That is something I've done. Uh-oh. Almost there. Okay. This is like... I'm like, how long did this take me the first... I don't remember. What past self did sometimes. It's the easiest reaction to be like, that's yep, okay. Oh, Jeff, if you want, there is the boricha is done. Extremely hot. Burn my mouth. Delicious. Where did I put there's the spoon. Okay. Yeah, there definitely is a kick to it, but it's not like... It's not bad. Just trying this. See, Jeff has no fear. Me, I'm like, dainty little bite.
It's a little gritty, but it's good.
Yeah, it needs to, I think I'm going to have it pulse a little longer to smooth it out some more. Just don't make the mistake I did, Jeff. It's hot. No. Oh, Jeff's going to show off his mug now. Yep. Dino mug. It's a good mug. Just let that go. Okay, I probably could start... Yeah, so Wild Jeff. He occasionally does make appearances in the kitchen stream. It's being blocked by the... So now I could do pinching. Jeff's not cooking, but I'd be the one doing the pinching. Yeah, there you go. Nailed it. Oh, you're cosplaying Jake now. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. I got rid of the lime skins. Did you want those?
Yeah, I'm going to get them in the trash.
Uh-oh. You. Actually, can you help by... I mean, those a little bit of a clean.
All
Yeah.
the bun.
The stems, por favor. Gracias, señor. Just shut your mouth. Kanji ran in thinking like his dinner was getting ready. Like that's the move he just did.
Yeah.
Alright. So I have it's being blocked by this. Behind me there's a pan with a bunch of water. That's gonna be for the rice noodles. I also have a large pan. I'm gonna once we're done with like all the cutting and setting up, we'll start cooking over there. Let me give you a plate to put it on for now. Thinking about all the things I want to do. All right, I want to preset a few of the toppings for the. Because I basically don't. The last thing I want to cut is the salmon, because then at that point I have to kind of like wash the cutting board. It's there. I do know I want cilantro and scallions. Again, for most people, I say for most. For a few people, cilantro tastes like soap. Skip it. Just don't add it to the recipe. I like what cilantro does to curries. It adds a nice little like, oh, there's a nice little safe spot to enjoy. So I'm gonna prepare that so I have those bowls ready. Every single one. See, it's a hot topic for people. Some people love it. Some people, it tastes like soap. I think there was a weekend Harry came by, and it might have been a weekend that I was making a bunch of recipes that had cilantro in it, and I was like, Harry, don't eat this one. Actually, the best one was, Harry, perfect. You're a good experiment, because I did the mango cilantro creme brulees for Guild Wars 2, and he was here that weekend. I was like, okay, Harry, I need you to tell me what this tastes like to you. And he put it in his mouth, and he's like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever had. No, I can't eat this. So, oh my god, yes. Double garlic, double green onion, yes. I didn't want to make Harry suffer. You got... Jeff's attacking me. No, Harry's a good experiment, and at least in the recipe I did write, if you do not like cilantro, do not add cilantro to the recipe. I like to make accommodations to things. There is when we went to Japan, there was a ramen place we went to that one of the options that it did ask was what were the levels of green onion you wanted to add? And all of us were a little worried because I think it was like none, small, and then a lot. And I guess they just had like a mountain of green onions. Zachary, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for stopping by. It was the nipple tweaking song. I need to rinse these suckers. I think I was going to have that run a little longer. Make sure it doesn't... The soundtrack is extremely chill, and I really like it. And it really, really goes well with each of like the vignettes that you guys have. Like it just pairs extremely well with it. Oop. Yeah, Ryan did an amazing job with it. cilantro. Whoop.
Get water.
It's fine. It's okay. Her kitchen needs a. Oof. Oh, that's so cool that you got to beat him through like the game jams and got to work on a full blown project together. I always tell with the game jams you guys host, I'm always like, if anyone does like food stuff, just let me know. I could give you food tips. that's that's the extent of my contribution. Could also cook the recipe. Said Rio TV, thank you so much for following. It's still like so much less than. Whatever. Yes, so cilantro, some people just taste it like soap. Like it's a genetic thing. Yeah, exactly. It's not a preference. It's just like some people, their genes, it tastes like soap. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning that on your when you guys had your little stream about the game. Heck yeah. All right, so I have the cilantro and my scallions set up. I have my water going back here. Now I think I'm gonna ignore that part that says I need a second lemongrass. Vicky! What have you done to yourself? Let's just say it's been a week. Alright, let me slice these mushrooms up. And then we'll get the mushrooms ready and then we can start rolling. Now it's Kanji's turn to start getting foods. It's just about Kanji dinner time. I'm so angry at that camera. But that's eventual things that'll get fixed. Eventual. It's just knife safety tip. Make sure your knife is sharp. And if you are struggling to cut things, it needs to be sharpened. Do not cut with a dull knife. That is how you will more likely cut yourself. I think a kitchen knife is probably one of the most important tools that you can have in the kitchen. Because it makes cutting easier. It's actually safer. Because if you're having to struggle, you're going to be putting more weight on it, which will lead to cuts on yourself. Jeff's prepping the camera. I guess something we could test off stream, Jeff, is if we, putting the stream deck in that slot instead. I was thinking of switching it right now, but I'm like, I don't want to risk the computer going, USB ports, I don't know. And then disabling itself. Heck yeah. No, I think at this point it's mostly pretty easy. Because a lot of the prep work is done. Just lots of mushrooms. Lots and lots of mushrooms. Excellent. This is where I just start kind of throwing everything in the back here. Let me make sure this. That should be good at this point. Whew. Yeah, that one pepper is doing its job, and I am happy I removed its seeds. Just for my sake. I know, how rude of Kanji not to share his dinner with you, Jeff. Let me quickly just give this a little rub down. Put this away. So it's out of the way. So now you can see, there's the pan that is heating up the water. That's there. Now we're going to pull the salmon out. Corgis are great. They are wonderful animals. And Kanji's a good long boy. Good long boy. %, Mega Rami, that is very true. If you're not gonna sharpen a knife, then it just loses value. It's important. It's a huge piece. I went and I asked for the recipe calls for 1.5 pounds. No, it says a pound. I said I wanted 1.5 pounds. But he actually did. The person gave me less than that. So the nice thing is there are no bones. I don't have to worry about that. They're pretty good. Right. I am lucky that when Jeff and I got married, we got a nice set of knives. Now, with how often I cook, it makes, I think, a little more sense to have a slightly more expensive set. But I also do sharpen them here at home. I guess we'll just have big chunky pieces, Jeff. Big chunky pieces. Big salmon. You know what? It's the weekend. We deserve it. Okay. Salmon skin today is misbehaving. Nope, non electric one. One of these kind of came with the set. I forget what they're called. Brain's not completely working. But I have this. The cheap manual one. This has worked perfectly. And it's real nice, so. I always do tell people, I warn them, make sure you have food, or make sure. Oh, we have to get this quality slideshow Kanji licking his chops. Real close-up view of. Chop looking. All right. Salt and pepper both sides of the salmon. So I actually can probably switch to the stove cam as the main focus now, because we are going to be here for the most part. I'm going to start heating that up. Boop and boop. I'm going to salt and pepper. Real nice and simple. Ooh, is it shaped like where you could hold on to it and you could kind of roll it? I had one of those for a bit, and I didn't like the way. Oh, it's kind of the same thing. I didn't like the way it was sharpening the knives. I found that I got a better like out of the swooshy thing. I'm gonna get you candy. And that's the part that matters. It's do what you feel comfortable with, and you could easily find a place, a local place. I know like Sur La Table will like do knife sharpenings there. It does cost money to get it like professionally done, but doing that occasionally helps your knives make sure it's like up to the standard it needs to be. What did I say? Heat a pan over medium. There has to be something there. Non-stick spray we'll go with. Alright. We're going to let that heat up more, and then we're going to throw the salmon skin side down. We want the skin to get nice and crispy, and we want the top half of it to also get nice and crispy. We're going to pan fry it a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and poach it in the curry and coconut milk mix. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely it's just worth like taking care of your knife is like one of the most important things you could do in the kitchen. So, I typically give Jeff my salmon skin because for me, like, go ahead and grab this. The darker the salmon gets, it gets a little like closer to the skin it gets fishier, and I've gotten better with it, but I'm still like, if it tastes like this fish, fishy, I'm like, I'm not having fun. But I am definitely eating way more fish than I ever did growing up, so. It definitely just took getting used to and eating more and more of it. So we're going to let that go. I'm going to remove the blade from this so I don't make any errors. Safety first. My favorite seafood thing to eat is scallops are my like go-to, but scallops can be cooked incorrectly pretty easily. Oh, thanks, Jeff. But they're very similar in texture to a king oyster mushroom, but they're very buttery. They're very good. I love them. I thought about grabbing some yesterday, but I'm like, wait. I usually go food shopping on Saturdays because Saturday I spend time working on on food blog stuff. So I need to find a game with scallops. Sometimes I just like to look for games that give me an excuse to make something, so that's always nice. Or maybe I need to start talking to more developers and be like, hey, add this so I can make it, please. Give me an excuse to make something. Don't need this. Ooh, I do need to grave. See, that's very different from myself. But oh god, scallops. I love them. I am looking for the vegetable broth that's in here. That's already open. Oh, I heard a follow. Mega Rami, thank you so much for that follow. an ice cream shop. I always love hearing about games that have food. And yeah, I like excuses to make food. So I have a lot of friends and anyone, if you ever see something, tweet at me, hit me up on Discord, whatever. I love hearing about food in games. And a lot of times it'll kind of judge some of my game purchases because it makes it easier for me to be like, okay, this game has food. Okay, I could justify spending the hours on this because I'll eventually get a recipe out of it for my website. So that does help. Is that weird mech game that you were playing, Jeff? Oh, just like Monster Hunter. Okay, eat before you hunt. Do they have... do they have ice cream sandwiches? I need a game with an ice cream sandwich because I've been wanting to like figure ice cream sandwiches out. But desserts I have a harder time making randomly because I will make a lot of desserts for the website and then I'll have a lot. So I limit the dessert making to if I can find it in a game, this will make my life easier and then I'll have an excuse to make it. Oh, cone and waffle cones. Hey, Provo. How you doing? There we go. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Pete, but I'm like, long day. Thanks, Jeff. Watching out for me. I'm going to check real quick since we have this. Almost. We're not looking to completely cook the salmon all the way through. Block some of that light. We're just looking to crisp it up some. It's going to finish cooking up once we can... Oh, you call everyone Pete? That's so nice of you, Jeff. I kind of like that Twitch added this founder thing. Something I've been meaning to do is add sub badges things. So I'm curious to see who all like the founders are for here. Oh, Harry, I was talking about you earlier. Jeff's number 1. We were talking about cilantro, and we were talking about the. I was talking about the how I tortured you to try the mango cilantro creme brulee. Brought to you by Dial. No, it's so good. But not everyone can. And it makes me sad. Ooh. Wasn't there... I feel like I was watching someone play Tacoma, and there was like a... Was it a cake recipe? Okay, so I am right. Hey, I'm always looking for good April Fool's jokes, so that could fit in there. I don't think we did. Did we do one this year? I don't think we did. A lot of games, I think if some games are like, oh, we're going to add a little bit of food, it's a lot of times a joke thing. But it's always kind of fun to try and figure out if it's at all possible to do that recipe. I know one of the joke ones that I've done a few times with, in Guild Wars 2, there's like Bloodstone, which is this item you could get a lot of, but there's a chef in the game that's like, oh, I'm going to make all these recipes for this item. It's clearly not edible, and it's not supposed to be something you could eat or tasty or anything, but I was like, perfect. Let's figure it out and do something really weird. So we found a base that's a spicy base and it has extra seasoning in it, but we run with it. Heck yeah. Like I said, I'm always looking for recipes. And I'm always willing to work with like people. Like if you're a small indie developer and you have a game coming out and you're looking for someone to like highlight it, hit me up. It's definitely one of those. You got food in it? I'll make food. I'll help you out. I love the indie community. Yeah, Brandon. Brandon's one of the first. We're slowly figuring out who's the first. Go ahead and kind of tip these forward a little bit. Yeah. So, I will say I did a bad job with the portal cake. It's there. It's one of my early recipes. Oh shoot, my website's... How old is my website now? It's very old all of a sudden. You could link it. Go ahead. It's still cooked. Like, it's doable, but it's very much so just a chocolate cake. I think nowadays, yeah, 2013. Oh boy. And that's not even vintage. This is Vicky starting in the kitchen. Pixelated provisions. Yeah, because I started in 2012. So, yeah, the site is now, 7 years old. But that is very much, I think, as I found my rhythm with the website, there was definitely a lot of, wait, did Apex add something? Ooh, I need that. Someone. Yes, please. Ooh. I don't play Apex, but I do have friends that play it. There we go. We're gonna grab the plate. Oh no. Someone save them, Crow or Jeff. Y'all are good at... My bot just gets angry. So, I'm going to flip this one so you can kind of see. We just got to... Is it bright? Let me just put it on the plate so it's a little easier to see. Boop, come on. Alright, so see, you can see, we just kind of like lightly browned it. You can see on the sides here, it's not cooked completely, but that's because we are going to kind of go through like a poaching process, sort of. And add a little more. And then I'm going to pretend like I put a piece of lemongrass in. That's what the recipe calls for. Lemongrass. It's in there. I'm going to reduce that heat a little bit, but we're going to add our mushrooms. Pretend there's lemongrass. Okay, let's see. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wait, what is... No, Crow, you're a good mod. Crow, you're always watching out. Oh shoot, people are actually like... Dang it, I goofed. How did I miss this? Actually, pretty easily. They taste like ass. I like that description. Yeah, so I think that's one of the biggest things. A lot of times when game devs put recipes in, either doing it as a joke or they're just like, okay, I don't know how to cook lemon goof this with something else. I think following their direction isn't always the right call. You want to be close, but just make some adjustments. Make sure it tastes good. Make sure it's edible. Because there is one recipe on my website, right? Yeah, one, that is pretty close to the game recipe item, but it's terrible. And in the description, I very specifically say, do not make this. It's a Fallout recipe. So obviously, yeah, that Fallout recipe did not make it to the book. But yeah, see, that recipe, bad recipe. Don't make that. But we did it kind of purposefully. Accurate. Again, that's why that one did not make it into the Fallout cookbook. Brandon, you see it's a tiny, it's right there, the lemongrass. See, it's just kind of mixed in there. I definitely have it. Whoops. Close my website. I need the... Oh, that's why I left the page and went to like... Ooh. Go back to my recipe. I think at one point I was like looking at Apex to do like some drinks themed off of like some of the characters. I think I was thinking of doing that because a bunch of people, our friend Badger B was part of a team for a bit. He still is, but I don't think he's doing as much Apex anymore. So definitely, I was like, oh, we could do like themed drinks to kind of like celebrate it, and then I never got to it. Ooh, I have not played a Prey game. I should check it out then. Make sure let me look at this recipe. Alright, I'm cooking these and I'm removing it. Okay. Oh, banana pudding. Oh, that's a good excuse. Now I want banana pudding. I do like that my life has slowly become, well, let me figure out what I want to eat by looking at games with food in it, and then that'll decide what new recipes I would like to try. Yes. Let's take a look at this. Big Bang candy. Oh no. Duck beer. That is Vicky's best life. That's what I do. Or a lot of times I'll find a recipe. I'm like, I want to find an excuse to make something. So a good example is soup dumplings. I've wanted to do that at home for a while. And I realized Final Fantasy 15's got my back there. So I'm going to be attempting to do that. It's going to be this will be the second time I try. So we'll see how that goes. Eel is another sea creature that I love. So tasty. Udon noodles. I love udon. Oh my god, bellinis. Oh, they have fish sticks. Fish sticks are something weird that I've been like, I want to try and make just because they seem silly to do. And I've seen it in that. I know Don't Starve also has it in there. That's me. If you like food and video games. Please hit that follow button. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Yes, so a friend of mine was talking about, yeah, they added food recently to Magic the Gathering. I'm not a big Magic person. So it was always one of those, like, I never got into it, but I know a lot of people that are into it, and I would be more than willing to, like, because there's the game, but there's also, yeah, the big board game. I've been considering doing some just because they do have a lot. And yeah, that's a whole new thing they added recently. Just like, really? I appreciate it. And it feels like, in general, games are just making more of an effort to add more food into it. Which for me makes me happy, because it gives me more options. And I know a lot of people have also, like, because they've seen my blog, or they've even seen, like, the nerdy cookbooks that are out, because, man, I wrote the official Fallout cookbook. I've seen a lot of people, like, message me saying, oh my god, you got my kid cooking in the kitchen. Like, they're actually cooking meals for us right now, and it's really cool. And that makes me so happy. My biggest goal is to convince gamers that the kitchen's not too scary. Just go do it. Yeah. The Magic community is huge. This is true. There is a lot of food in fairy tales. I've seen a few other, like, there's fandom food bloggers out there, and I've seen a lot of fairy tale driven ones, which is always really neat. I haven't checked Arena out at all. I feel like card games spook me a little bit. Especially those card games where you're having to, like, okay, you want to make sure your packs are, like, you're getting everything. I mean, my biggest dive into, like, card playing games are Fantasy Flight's, like, living card games. Jeff and I played a lot of the Lord of the Rings living card game. Because when you buy a pack, you get all the cards. You're done. You don't have to buy random packs to do that. And it was co-op. But I know my friend Harry has had, I don't know, Magic cards? I don't know if he still does. Okay, you did get rid of them. We did stream a few scenarios from that, like, really early on. I think what ended up replacing it is because I set up the cooking streams. And also I got swamped this year. We could do that. Right now my streaming schedule is I'm doing 3 days a week, because at least 3 days a week. That's the goal I've set for myself. And I've been doing decently well with that. And at least one of those has to be a cooking stream. Because it's what I love to do, and finally kind of having things set up. Just realized the kanji cam's on, and kanji's nowhere to be found. Alright, so Jeff, we did pick up the Arkham Horror living card game, and we have not we picked it up and now it's just been sitting there. Uh-oh. Brandon, I'm proud of you for committing and actually finishing that jumping puzzle. We're just letting the mushrooms cook here. We want them to cook out a little bit, because I'm pretty sure. Let me see real quick before I keep reading chat. we're waiting for them to crisp up. These can take a little longer sometimes than other ones. So let's see. Arena's a pretty good way to get into them. Okay, so it actually like you can build your collection. I mean, it's the same thing with like traditional Arkham horror where things just go terrible. Like I think that's the point of the game. You're in that constant pressure, and it's just like, oh no, this is bad, and then somehow you manage to do it. I Arkham Horror, the board game, the original one, I guess 2.0 because the newest one came out. Was the board game that got me like heavily into like board games in general. So it always has a special place in my heart. Also, Radiant Emerald, thank you so much for that follow. Oh no. Harry, we're getting very serious about our jumping puzzles. that is like perfectly like 100% Arkham Horror. That description right there. Also, that sounds kind of like one of the dungeons we just did in Final Fantasy XIV. We were on a ghost train, and then we got stuck in a room with a ghost, so that could be lost in time and space. Had to spend an evening with the ghost. My plate. Ghost train. This is still heating up. I'm going to put my plate down so I don't drop things. Take the mushrooms out. And then I got to remember, I took the mushrooms out, but I got to put back the lemongrass. It's there. I swear. Can't see it, but it's in there. MMOs definitely do like take their time commitment, and I really like it because then it's a big game that I could like sink a ton. Oh, mushroom fell down. I could sink a ton of hours into, and I see my character progressing and getting all cool and better and stronger and doing things. So I put the curry paste in. I'm gonna also add the vegetable broth. It says add the vegetable broth and the coconut milk. I might add a little extra of the vegetable broth because technically there is a little more. The salmon is a little. Even though I'm pretty sure when I did the recipe there were more pieces than I claim. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this in. And now I need to open up the coconut milk. Can opener. All right, let's see. Ghost grass. I really enjoyed it because Jeff and I played Destiny 2. We did it in December. Like right when I think Activision was like, here, you could have it for free. And then we played that for a bit. Well, he had played it before, but for me, that was my first experience with it. And then I was like, oh, this is actually a lot of fun. And we picked up Forsaken, played through that, and I was like, this is okay. And then we played a bunch, and then I was like, okay, we've seen it. We had hit the like top light level, and I was like, whew. Okay, I'm good right now. And I know they just released the latest expansion. I think maybe in November I might pick it up and start streaming that again because we were streaming some Destiny 2. One of the things that sucks is that Destiny 2 is typically three players is the perfect place. And I know for a while we were multi-streaming it with Badger. But now we multi-stream also with Sam, so it makes it difficult to make that the game to be the option. But it is Destiny is. I'm happy they finally embraced the word MMO because it is very much so an MMO. It was for the longest time. I was like, y'all, this is an MMO. Stop trying to avoid that word. That's what it is. Uh, so I do have. So I'm like slowly catching up with chat. I do have a Halloween themed recipe. I'm gonna be doing, I think, a pumpkin soup from Divinity Original Sin. I do have some that are already on the blog. I have like a candy corn cake from uh, Guild Wars 2. There's some candies and stuff. So I really love Divinity Original Sin 2. So anytime I'm like, I could do a recipe from it. Yep, I actually have. I was supposed to do it last week, but then I forgot to buy a bunch of things. But I got pumpkin. It's ready. Gonna make a pumpkin soup this weekend. So that'll happen. Keep catching up. Okay, yeah. If you struggle with JRPGs, Final Fantasy XIV would be a very difficult one to get into. And if the combat doesn't work for you, Final Fantasy's combat, 14's combat is very traditional and older in the MMO scape, where it's like you click a button, it has a cooldown, that's what you do. I do think one of the more interesting MMO combat wise that I'd played within the last few years is probably Blade and Soul, but the style is very anime. So yeah. All right, and Opie's asking about. All right, I think Final Fantasy VIII is what's winning, right? Let me see. Yeah, if that kind of combat is something you like, I would say Blade and Soul is probably a good choice. Yeah, so eight is currently winning. So between 8 and 9. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to start that. Maybe it might even be next week. Yeah, I am excited to see how Bungie handles their freedom, and hopefully the whole new system works well for them. Yeah, Guild Wars 2 is also a very different kind of combat, and if you want Guild Wars 2, you can pick up for free at least the base game and experience that. That game does not have a gear grind or anything like that either, so. Yeah, my biggest suggestion, if you pick an MMO, don't dabble. It's hard to dabble into multiple. Just kind of pick your one and then run with it. And that's the one you're going to commit to for a bit. Okay, so I'm going to add the salmon back in. Right? No. Bring to a simmer. That's to let this heat up. Oh, it's actually simmering. Never mind, I'm a liar. Salmon, get your butt back in there. Also, me talking for a while, this has cooled a lot more than when I cooked it originally. I will say when I do like the cooking streams, it definitely helps me like probably understand a better like timing for a more beginner cook, because I never add times to. That was one of the hardest things to do for the Fallout cookbook, was figure out timing. And I learned I was wrong on a lot of them because my timing is a lot quicker than other people's timings. So doing them on stream has helped me like understand, okay, buffer it to this much more time. What non-combat? I mean, there's a lot of jumping puzzles in Guild Wars 2. There's crafting too. Trying to think. Each of the holidays have something. I will say Guild Wars 2 does have some of the best jumping puzzles in games. Yes. Hmm. Yes, 100%. I actually did not play the first Destiny. But there's enough videos out there to kind of get like the story. The wonderful is everyone now that's starting right now, it's like, oh yeah, just watch this short 4 hour long video from My Name is Beef and you could know everything. Just short 4 hour video. It did. They were on with Activision. They split from Activision in January, and they're their own developer. They completely moved off of the Battle.net launcher in just 2 weeks ago, I think. So, nope, it's no longer there. It's on Steam. So you can pick it up on Steam. It has cross save now, so you can take your account from your PlayStation 4 and play it on your PC and do that. Yeah, you get the base game for free. So if you like shooters, running around shooting things, they actually start you off at a pretty high light level. I don't know how the story structure has like how much you have to go through. Oh no. Raiding and are you saying in Destiny? No. If I know I'm bad at shooters. Like I don't even know if I have any. The only clip I have, I think for sure from Destiny, is when the shield fell off. But I guess if there's a lot of people that are playing, we can maybe set up a. Are they called guilds? What are they called in that? Strike teams? No, that's I'm so bad with words. Clans. There we go. I know, Jeff, we're in one, but a bunch of the people don't play anymore, so. Okay, so it's all the year run. Okay, that's something I wasn't sure about. I was like, does it come with Forsaken? So yeah, you have to pick up Forsaken to play that. You could completely, you can play with people, but you just can't go to like the Forsaken stuff. Or if you don't have a specific expansion, you can't go to that area and do that. But there's a lot of content just in the base game. Yeah. Which, I need to pick up Shadowkeep. That'll probably be a thing. Thinking November. Got a lot of games. I'm going to blame Final Fantasy XIV on this one, but I didn't put a timer on. I just covered it, kept talking, do 6 minutes, and then I'll check. The game is huge. It's gonna take up a large amount of space. After I like I uninstalled like the Destiny stuff. I was like, oh, perfect. Now I have all this room. Until I installed Destiny again. Right, 750 power. You can play whatever, whenever. So yeah, the PvP. Yeah, because they just open that, which is nice. Is Gambit? Can they do Gambit, or is that locked because of Forsaken? Okay. Oh, good. Because I know Gambit was a thing that was introduced in Forsaken. I like out of the PvP modes, I find Gambit to be more interesting. Because the other PvP modes, when I've played them, I'm like, Well, I just die. Because there are really good players in that game, and it's just like, well, I got killed. I think that's nice, because, yeah, I played it before they did all these changes. I can't imagine it's probably overwhelming for a new player, because that is a lot of information to take in at once, but... Trying to make sure I'm doing this right. Nice thing is, so because these pieces are bigger, the timing is definitely going to be a little off. So I do have a thermometer that I can check the temperature real quick. I'm looking for an internal temperature of 145. It mentions it there. That is another tool that I'd say is a nice to have in your kitchen. Not necessary, but now that I have it, I'd be sad without it. I used to have a cheaper one, but I definitely recently, Jeff picked me up for my birthday earlier this year in January. Picked me up a Thermapen, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hell yeah, Opie. I'll have to reinstall the game too, but yeah. Get you to the vendors and all the game modes and unlocking all the planets and showing you like, okay. I know a friend mentioned they got in and they were like, there's a lot that I'm looking at and I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Nina, I'm the same way. Like there are certain things I'll cook and I'm like, if it's not cooked all the way, this could be bad. And it's nicer with the thermometer because then you could avoid overcooking it and kind of eyeballing it, because sometimes you'll eyeball things and it's fine because the temperature's there. Because isn't the game like 50 gigs or something wild like that? Oh my god, 80 gigs! Oh no! I gave it a baby number. Who would have guessed? 50's a baby number nowadays. That's cooking. Oh, that's right. I should get more limes. Ding, 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 ding. 2 tablespoons of lime zest. Not lime zest. There is going to be lime zest, but that's not what I want. 2 tablespoons of. I want 2 tablespoons of lime juice. That's a sad lime. Ba-ba. Jeez. Yeah, nowadays, yeah. I have to like constantly uninstall, reinstall, uninstall because my SSD only has so much space. Like I have a regular hard drive with like 2 terabytes on it. But that one doesn't run as fast as the other one. Like, ugh, why? Yeah, at the rate it's going, things keep getting larger, but yeah, no, like, yeah, if the textures are going to be larger, they're going to take up more space. And Jeff and I know that well. Because, yeah, this is going to 127. I figured because these are much larger pieces, so I'm just going to kind of cover that up. Probably do another 3 minutes and check that. I did not. Same. I did not get to play Red Dead 2, but that is true with ISP caps. That is an issue when you're downloading your games. And nowadays, yeah, you can't get like physical copies half the time for like PC games. Just the angry times with that. Yeah, that was one of the wilder things when I bought like I don't remember what it was I bought. It was just like, yeah, go here's your code. And I'm like, okay, I know this is saving you money, but you don't need to be saving money. But it'd be nice if I could just download it off a CD. Updates, whatever, sure, but they're not going to be as big. It's just like, why? At this point, it's just then a piece of plastic that gets to sit there, and I have nothing I can do with it. Oh yeah, like a lot of older games where you had like all the disc and you had to install like this is the game disc, this is the cinematic disc. You don't have to install all of them. Sometimes you can get away with it if you don't. It's like, oh my gosh. And both did a lot of the screen is now we all know Harry. Where do we know it? Make it a little extra limey. Because I said so, because that's what I want. I know something as I was asking the question about what Final Fantasy should I play first and all that fun stuff. Opie brought up because I was like, oh, I'll wait till the Final Fantasy 7 remake comes out because a lot of people said, yeah, 7 is one to play, which didn't. Okay, that's good. Oh, big tough dog. Kanji's rough and tough. I'm talking and I didn't even make the rice noodles. Boop. I'm gonna heat that up. The salmon is done. Give me 1 second. I'm like, I've fallen behind. I'm gonna cook half of this. Opie pointed out, yeah, who knows when all the discs for Final Fantasy VII, the remake is going to be out. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's a long game. Megarami, thank you for stopping by. Have fun. Good luck in your Gambit matches. Hope you win. Make the Drifter proud. Okay. There's that. And now I need to add the lime juice and the best ingredient ever. Fish sauce. Adds a nice umami to a recipe. Smells real stanky. I do want to make a recipe for kanji that has fish sauce in it because I've heard that's a really good ingredient to add into dog treats because it has that extra smelly fishy smell and dogs love that. Love it, love it, love it. Whoop. There we go. doing this right? Let me see. Add that. Allow the mushrooms to warm up. We added that in. Alright. So I want to make sure I get the recipe correct. Oh, I should grab the bowls that I had there. Alright, now, catch your back up. Alright, fish sauce, fish sauce. See, fish sauce, great ingredient. Love it. Me living the life of only, because I did not have a PlayStation 1 growing up. I got a PlayStation 2 at some point. I don't remember when it in its cycle, but yeah, 10 was the. I had 10, played 10, and played it a lot because it was at an age where I was like, well, this is the game I have. This is what I get to play a lot of. That's heating up. That's heating up. I'm gonna grab. There, yeah. Quickly grab the bowls. Is it this one? Yeah. Whoop. Whoop. So I'm like running into the wall and stuff. There we go. That is true. Actually, you know what? I think I picked up Final Fantasy VIII at one point. But I don't think I picked it up, and I think I had the disc. For some reason, this is like a memory I have, but I never played it. I don't know why. And then I put it down. What would have I been doing instead at that point in my life? I'm going to assume a Zelda game. That would be like a safe assumption. Because it definitely was all after the games had been out for some time. Maybe it was that hack. That actually could have been it. Which, speaking of long games, that was. I did not finish that hack. I think I got up to like the third disc. Does that sound right? Third or fourth disc. I really enjoyed it when I was playing it, and then I think it might have been right around the time that I was getting either ready to start college. Sound right? Or the last few years of high school. Ooh, Harry. Did you hear the Steam news that they're letting local gameplay happen digitally? Harry. Jeff, did you know that? They what? So, BT dubs, everyone. Local remote play. So, there is a high possibility that I will be playing Tales games on stream because, goddamn, I love those games a whole lot. And, of course, you know what? Jeff and I need to buy Tales of Vesperia for a 6th time. I wish I was joking. Is that? Alright, so I got my noodles. I'm going to reduce the heat on that. So that's basically done. I'm going to split my noodles. Oh my god, I love the Tales games. a lot. I'd say that is probably the series. Well, it's definitely the series that Jeff and I started playing when we were first getting to know each other. Little Tales of Symphonia, Long Nights. And it's how we got to know Harry. I mean, there was more than that, but the Tales games definitely did it. It basically is, yeah, it's why we're friends. So that series is very, very near and dear to me. That's why I'm like, so Jeff, food's almost ready, but go around the house and grab all the copies of Tales of Vesperia that we have. Because, let me say. Ta-da! Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, your roommates, they were not happy about Stone Blast, Tidal Wave. They don't understand. I love them dearly. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this piece of salmon. Ta-da. Ta-da. And then this piece of salmon. Let's get that plate closer. The other ones are, Jeff, I think under the... Dang it! I lost some salmon. It landed on the floor! I'll have the smaller piece then. Yeah. One is in that drawer and yeah, they're in separate drawers. We have a salmon casualty. No. I'm gonna grab some of the sun. Oh, you grabbed Captain Carol. I could switch the pupper there. Main camera, main and stove. Got Captain Carol. There's a 360 version that we played while we were in college, our senior year of college. There is the Japanese PlayStation 3 exclusive edition that came out that Jeff and I attempted to play. There is the Switch version that we bought, and then halfway through playing it, we were like, some of the skills are delayed. This is kind of annoying. Let's pick it up because it was like 2 days after we could return it, and then we picked it up for PlayStation 4. So we have a whole party now. And I say a sixth time because we would each have to buy it on Steam in order to play. Well, no, if we could just play it on one computer and then Harry could play elsewhere. But we have a lot of Tales of Vesperia. I love the game. And I'm always conflicted if it's either Vesperia or Tales of the Abyss. One of the two, depends on the day that you ask me which one is my favorite. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and messily. See, this is what happens when the quality of how things look is not as neat on stream as they are on the website. It still tastes good. Here, Jeff, I'll make your plate the nice one. No, not even. Whoop. Whoop. I'm kind of like sort of clean it. I'm excited. So we'll give an extra piece of lime for each of us. Whoop. Today's theme, drop as much as I can. Probably should have added more. Could have added more coconut milk, I think. Alright, so we'll just do this. This one has a lot of mushrooms. This one's yours because it's the bigger piece of salmon. Half of one. which is fine. It like broke in half as I was like lifting it. Cilantro. Again, cilantro is optional for those that taste soap. This is the slightly nicer looking one. They're not really nice. Vicky. Your standards on stream. Yeah. Whoop. 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 Ta-da! Ta-da! We'll pretend it's pretty. Bottom's hot. Nom 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 nom. Switch. Main camera. Oh, country's kind of back in. Yep. being a real grumpus. So now we test. So okay, now it's time to just ask random questions to Nina and Jake, because now I could like focus. Are you guys gonna work? Are you gonna do a different game, or do you think you're gonna do more little continuations? A little more stories? Or are you guys done with this project? And ready to look into the future for other things? That might be spicier than when I made it the first time. It's a spicy meatball. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys have the horror game jam. Which, feel free to put a link in there. So if people are interested in participating in a game jam, Nina's Discord does host some. Every so often. Their next one is Halloween themed. So please, if you want to be creative, you could do your own game. There are a lot of people in their Discord that are more than happy to like work with other people. Jeff has done some. But yeah, you're going to be out of town. Jeff, just give your idea to someone else. Oh, are there a lot of people out that weekend? It's just a link. Just play Devotion. I do not have much experience playing horror games. I feel like a lot of times they make me anxious. But I wish I tried some. I don't know. They don't make me as anxious as Jeff hates horror. I can't convince him to like watch any horror movies, which I'm fine with. I don't do too much. I did watch like the It remake. I enjoyed that. I didn't see the second one. Oh, okay. I might check it out then. Because yeah, I've heard you rave about that game. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah, jump scares is what... I don't mind like a good like mind intense like horror thing, but like if I'm gonna be like, even there are stupid games where I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna move slowly. Is something gonna come out? Okay, no. Move slowly. Like I end up like psyching myself out. Kanji, how nice of you. What a good boy. Make sure I didn't miss. I am. That's why I was with Brock and with Badger and Sam. I was trying to figure out if there was like a multiplayer horror game that we could do for some of October. I think we might be doing Left 4 Dead. I mean, it's horror adjacent. It's like spooky themed enough because I've never played them. But there's not a lot of like multiplayer horror things. There's like Death by Daylight, but we like to play cooperative. Dead by Daylight. There we go. That's the words. Yeah, if I'm going to play a game, I don't want to feel... I'm not looking for anxiety. I guess horror is maybe not the right word. Just spooktembered themed. Oh, thanks, Conj. Because it is that time of year. Spooktember. Trying to think. I was gonna do another like spooky recipe, but I looked at the actual recipe and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be more work than I want it to be. So yeah, the recipe's still good. I do think Jeff, would you agree this is a little spicier than the other one I made? So whatever pepper I picked out, I think is yeah. is a little spicier. So that means Jeff will be having a lot more of this. Mystery pepper got me, and I took the seeds out of the mystery pepper. So yeah, I mean, we cooked, we made. I turned my stove off. I probably will if they have it. I forget what it was called. Let me see if I could look up what I looked up. What did I type yesterday? Pepper? Is it like big? No. Texas? No. See if my history has anything. No, it doesn't even have... wait, maybe? Flame bell peppers is what the name was. Which, when I look at these pictures, this does not look like what it looked like. Because I think that's what it was labeled as, a flame bell pepper. And I'm like, I don't think so. This looks like a jalapeno. HEB, I think you're lying to me. Being rude. Yeah, I think the flaming hot Cheetos, yes! Pro tip with flaming hot Cheetos, lime juice. Gave it that lime flavor, because again, spicy with lime works really well. But they're flaming hot. Ooh. So I think I'm gonna wrap up because I could eat and I have to clean the kitchen. Hey, I am very pro lime. It is delicious. Okay, Crow, show us your art. Let's wrap up the stream with art. Yeah, I want to take a moment to say thank you so much to Jake and Nina for including me in this project. I mean, I really appreciate it. I love food, and I'm happy that I was able to contribute in some way because they're great friends of mine, and I was like, yes, I could be involved in some game development in a weird way. So it's all really tasty. If you want to make so two things. If you want to make this oh God, no, that's wrong tab. If you want to make this recipe, you can find it there. If you would like to pick up your own copy of this wonderful game, there's a link to that too. You get all that wonderful information. You can pick it up on Steam, and I highly recommend it. It is a very, very wholesome game. I enjoyed it, and it was very relatable. Yeah, I'm really happy. Wait, did Crow put his art up yet? Crow, where's our art? Our hot Cheeto art. And the recipe is, there we go. Just add water. Okay. Oh, this is quality content. So yeah, thank you all for watching, stopping by. If you yourself are an indie game creator or just game dev in general and you have food in your game, or you have a favorite game that you like food, hit me up. I'm always up for making recipes. I'm also here to help if you guys want that. Yeah, you all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to enjoy this. Kanji's going to be adorable. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you all. Bye.